understand where Kyle is, because the pain of seeing someone that you have built a life with move on is unlike anything else.
Hey Collider, this is Crystal Jordan, features writer, and I am super excited to be here in Atlanta at the Badass Workshop with none other than the badass herself, Bozoma St. We are here. You are absolutely amazing. I can't even, I'm gagging before I can get started over these boots.
Over these and the boots.
Oh my God, you look absolutely stunning.
I appreciate it.
As we knew you would. Welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here.
Well, you should be, because we are excited to have you. I think Atlanta is like the home of the professional career badass woman. So we definitely needed you here.
I love that. Yes, I can already feel the energy.
You feel it? Yes.
You know? Yeah.
They're out there waiting for you. I know. They're ready. But actually in that theme, I have a friend, Electrifying Boutique.
Yes.
And Ebony Green is a woman that makes things for amazing Black women. Oh. And so she created this specifically for you. This was crafted specifically for you.
It feels
knowing
badass.
all that you have done and all that you represent.
Thank you. May
Yes,
I open
you
it
please.
right now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, this is so exciting. I love a gift.
Of course, that's how you should always come to a woman with a gift, right?
You know what? That is a good point.
Absolutely.
This is so good. Okay, now, of course, my nails
are
not going to let me be great.
I can help you.
Here we go.
Yeah, you got it?
I think I got it.
Okay.
It feels like I have to open the gift
You
myself.
do.
You know what I mean? Oh, wonderful. Oh, let's see what we got here.
So it's for women that are,
get out of here.
See, so she's got the,
so it's like a,
the tie, but it's like the feminine. And that specifically, she said, you are always into bold colors. And
oh my gosh,
you just
she noticed that. It's so incredible.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, and the lipstick, come on, girl. I love it. Thank you
All
so
of that.
much.
So we got off on that foot, right?
Thank you.
Boss gifts for a boss.
Thank you.
So first of all, let's talk about the Badass Workshop. I'm so glad that you were able to come here to Atlanta. I know you've been to London, you've been all over the country.
Yes.
Why was this really important for you to do this during National Women's History Month?
Yes. Well, first of all, the Badass Workshop I started curating in 2020. So it's been 5 years.
Okay.
And I started doing it because people always ask me, like, how did you make it to the top? How did you negotiate for more money?
Yes.
How do you enter rooms exactly as you are?
Yes.
And it was hard to answer those questions in like 2 or 3 minutes because people would catch me like in an elevator or like running through an airport or something like that. And 2020, as you remember, we were all stuck at home.
Yes.
And even though I had just taken the job as the chief marketing officer of Netflix, I mean, I still had time on my hands. I know that sounds crazy, right? But it just felt like the right moment to turn on a camera and talk for an hour. And I'm talking about just freestyle, you know, it wasn't overly produced. There's nothing, I mean, it just felt like I was talking to people directly.
Right.
And I gave all the keys that I had, you know, because what happens to us, usually in corporate, is that people feel like you have to earn your stripes.
Right.
You know, they'll tell you, oh, yeah, well, she's got to climb the ladder like everybody else. And I'm like, why? Other people don't have to earn it. They're given these keys.
Right.
And so I felt like, well, I've made it not to one C-suite, but 4. And so if I can do that, then I can tell you how to make more money. I can tell you how to ask for promotion. I can tell you how to speak with your voice strong and command a room.
Yes.
And if I can do that and help other women who are like me, then the better off we are, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I really love that because there's been this old adage, specifically in Black culture, that we have to work twice as hard and be twice as good. Yeah. So for you to come and say, absolutely not, I'm going to give you the cheat sheet.
Yes.
That's, you know, why not?
Because I already did it.
Right.
I did the work.
Yeah.
And so why can't I just give it to you?
Right.
And then that way you're starting at a much higher place than I was, which means that we'll be able to achieve more. So guess what? When I am 85 and I'm looking back and I'm like, oh, let's look at what's happening in the world. Hopefully the women and men who I've given these cheat codes to will be able to be in a much higher place than I even achieved. That's my hope.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited about that. And I'm looking at getting some of those cheat sheet nuggets myself today. But of course, we're here to talk a little bit about the Badass Workshop and a little bit about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I got to tell you, when I learned that you were joining the show, I was surprised.
Yeah.
Okay?
I know.
Because
I know, because like, everybody was.
Yeah. I mean, just like, okay, she's this amazing corporate, you know, shero.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's this idea of the housewives being women that aren't really into earning it the same way in the corporate space, right? Yeah. So did you have was there any doubt in your mind about none?
No, I cut you off right there.
Yes.
No, there was no doubt.
Yes.
I think because this happens to me all the time, right? Which is that the questions about how I've been able to navigate my career don't make sense in the moment. It is only when people look back at it, they're like, oh my gosh, how did you plan all of that?
Right.
And the truth of the matter is that I didn't plan it. You know, I'm following the destiny, and actually it's part of what I'll be talking about today.
Okay.
You know, which is that like you really have to follow your intuition so that you understand where you're supposed to go next. My path is not everybody's path.
Right.
And for sure, whoever did it before me did not go this way.
Right.
But why should I go their way when I have my own destiny to fulfill?
Right.
And on top of that, you know, I've been in so many rooms in which I am one of one or one of few, or somebody has said that has never been done before, or we haven't seen somebody do it like this before. It's like, before I got there, did you see like C-suite executives with their boobs out? No, you didn't. You know what I mean? I did that.
Right.
And now other women are
can
able
do that
to
too.
Can show up in the way that they want to.
Absolutely.
Have shoulder out and do whatever they
back
want.
out, boots on, fabulous.
All of the things.
All of the things. Okay, so I got to ask you that in that vein, knowing that a lot of times we are the only ones in the room, specifically of color.
Yeah.
Did you feel joining Beverly Hills of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills pressure, or even that people assume that you would need to click up or be friends, or even be adverse with Garcelle? What was that pressure?
Always. I mean, because that's also what happens to us. You know, either people
It's
are
one.
like, look, either they're like, you are biased.
Yes.
So that you are only sitting with the Black people.
Absolutely.
Or you have to be at odds with the Black people.
Yes.
And there can only be one of you.
There can only be one.
And I have tried very, very hard in many narratives to say that like that does not need to be the case.
Right.
You know, it's like, why are there 4 white women who are on the show and able to be in their fullness of themselves?
Right.
And Garcelle and I have to be the ones at odds, or we have to be the ones together simply because we're Black? No, I don't think so. I mean, we are both very accomplished in our own ways.
Absolutely.
And I think that it should be celebrated that way instead of like pitted against each other, or just assume that our only commonalities that we're Black.
I think that happened on Real Housewives of Potomac. We had 2 Nigerian women, and they just kind of were like, and unfortunately it did feel that way. They were pitted against each other.
Yeah.
Biggest surprise during filming? What were you most surprised by? It doesn't seem like you're very surprised by much. Biggest surprise joining the show?
You know, I was most surprised by the realness of emotion.
Okay.
You know, I think like everybody else, I was assuming that a lot of things are produced, or that, you know, people are going to drum up emotion just so that it can feel like something on air. But what surprised me is that, you know, we're spending so much time together. You know, during the time of filming, I mean, we're spending hours and hours, day after day together. And it's not like you're sitting there being like, oh, what's the weather like today?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what's going on in your marriage? You know, and you're talking about really deep things. And it was funny, I was joking with some of my best friends that I was like, man, I've been talking to these ladies about things that are going on in their life, and whether I'm talking to you about what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
And so when then some conflict happens, or you have to support one another, those emotions are very real because you're so deep in each other's stories.
So it's like you got a crash course in being besties.
Oh, it's like a pressure cooker of friendship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so even though it's like, you know, my first season, and I didn't know the majority of these women before I met them, like day 1 of shooting. I would say by the second week, I was like, ooh, I know intimate details. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say that I love seeing you there because I love seeing someone that's strong, someone that's accomplished on her own, and yet someone
self-made girl. You better
and yet still it's like, yes, I do have this amazing lifestyle that I earned, and I earned it, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
That's
so
right.
we're excited to see you on the show. I'm going to ask you last question on this.
Yes.
Anything you can give us that you're excited about people seeing coming up?
Oh gosh, on the show?
Yes, on the show.
Oh man. Well, I think we're in our final episodes, and I'm just so glad that we're able to go to St. Lucia, which is one of the, actually I just learned it's one of 2 countries in the world named after a woman.
Oh wow.
The other one I just found out was Ireland. I did not know that before.
Okay.
So I was saying that like St. Lucia was the only one, you know?
Wow. Okay.
But I'm excited about being able to bring the culture. My best friend from college is from St. Lucia.
Nice.
And we were there when we were actually just leaving when the first woman who won the gold medal in track from St. Lucia won. So, I just think it's exciting to be able to bring culture like that forward.
Absolutely. We'd like to see a little culture in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Well, we are here with our girl, Bozoma St. So excited about the upcoming finale, and I can't wait for the reunion because I know my girl is going to slay.
Look, head to toe,
I already
baby.
know my girl is going to slay. We will look forward to hearing more from you and hopefully have you back after the reunion right here in Collider. This has been Crystal Jordan, features writer for Collider, and we are here at the Badass Workshop. Make sure you check it out. Bozoma St. John.